composite supply and mixed supply, composition scheme under GST, and we're going to solve certain problems on the composition scheme and normal scheme. When the goods has been moved from the main person, automatically the GST is going to be charged over there. A person who is doing business activities from the outside India, he is not eligible for composition scheme. Warm welcome to 5th Sem BComs. In the subject we're discussing goods and services tax. In our previous session, we have discussed about the registration concepts under GST. In today's session, in the upcoming concept, we are going to discuss the registration process with the via agents if we are doing any business activities, how it should be continued, and which concept is treated as supply or taxable event. And even we are going to discuss about composite supply, mixed supply, composition scheme, and normal scheme. And even we are going to solve a basic problems on composition and normal scheme. I am Professor Rajesh LR from Department of Commerce and Management from Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In our previous session, we discussed about types of GST registration, the benefits, supply, the taxable supply, territory concepts, and even the difference between the related person transactions. So now, in today's session, we're going to discuss about supply of goods via agent. If I'm a principal, means I'm the main person where I'm selling goods through agent. If any goods are sent through agent, whether it comes under GST or not, who has to pay the GST? Those concepts will be discussed there. Taxable person importing services from a related person. Permanent transfer of business assets. Transactions which are treated neither supply nor services. Like for example, when an employee is working for an employer, that is not service, which cannot be treated as service here because the employer is paying salary to the employee. Composite supply and mixed supply, composition scheme under GST, and we're going to solve certain problems on the composition scheme and normal scheme. The first concept we have here, supply of goods via agent. By a principal to his agent, and the agent will supply them on behalf of the principal. For example, a company based in Mumbai employs an agent in Pune and sends goods to him. So GST is applicable. When the goods has been moved from the main person, automatically the GST is going to be charged over there. By the agent to his principal, when the agent receives the goods on behalf of the principal. For example, a company in the suburbs employs an agent in the city. The agent buys the goods from the city and sends them to the principal to sell in the suburbs. Any supplies between agent and principal will be liable to GST, either principal to agent or agent to principal. In both the concepts, GST is levied. Both agent and principal will be liable to pay GST jointly and severally. The person paying GST can later claim input tax credit. If the principal has paid the GST, he can claim the input tax credit. If agent has paid the GST, he can claim input tax credit. The value of supply to an agent is also based on the above provisions for related persons. So the value will be calculated based on the supply, what they have made, and which are the charges are to be added, and what should be deducted as a discount, and what is the actual transaction value. On the transaction value, they're going to charge or levy GST, and the GST may be based on intra-transaction or inter-transaction. If it is intra-transaction, then it is CGST, SGST. If it is inter-transaction, IGST is going to be charged on the transaction which has taken place. Next we have here, taxable person importing services from a related person. For example, import of services by a taxable person from a related person or from any of his other establishments outside India for business purposes will be treated as supply. For example, ABC company is incorporated in US by A Limited along with B Limited. Both from India, services are imported be limited from ABC without any consideration. The import will be deemed to be supply. GST will be paid by limited and on a reverse charge basis. They're saying that if any services are obtained by any company, either related company or any other companies, it comes under GST bracket and the GST is going to be charged on reverse charge basis. Reverse charge basis is nothing but I can claim input tax credit benefits also. So next we have here permanent transfer. Permanent transfer is nothing but I'm transferring my assets totally to other person. Permanent transfer or sale of business asset on which input tax credit has been availed will also be treated as supply even if there is no consideration received. GST is applicable to the sale of business assets only. It does not apply to the sale of personal land or building and any other personal asset. They're saying that one only when business assets are transferred. Transferred means sold. So only on business assets the GST is going to be levied, and if any personal asset has been transferred, no GST is going to be charged. Permanent transfer means transfer without any intention of receiving the goods back. Means once if I transfer, it is transferred. I'm not going to receive back such assets whichever we have transferred from the business. So totally we are selling our assets to other person. Goods sent on job work or goods sent for testing or certification will not qualify as supply as there is no permanent transfer. They're saying that one if any goods are sent for job work, means for completing the raw material into a finished goods, we have sent some goods on a job work for person given to complete that one. Like for example, the switchboard, whatever we have here, the switchboard will be made by the job workers based on the instruction given by the main person and the manufacturer. He says that when these are the number of switches I require in this sheet, and he has go according to the instruction or direction whatever they are given, based on that they are going to complete the work here. So now when the work has been allotted, the job worker will complete and send back the goods here. So that cannot be treated as supply here. Or if any goods which you have manufactured that be sent for quality check, whether any default is there or any concept has been used which is not against to the economical condition or nature, so in those cases the goods which has been sent for quality test cannot be treated as supply. And in certain cases we require certification from the government, like ISO 2001, it has to be certified that these products are genuine and can be sold in the market. If I've sent for certification of any products here, that cannot be treated as supply here. Donation of business assets or scrapping or disposable in any other manner for a consideration would also qualify as supply. They're telling that one, if any goods which has been donated, and if at the time of donation we are going to value that asset, there's a worth of asset has been given to the certain people and it will be treated as a donation. Or if it has been sold as a scrap and if I receive any amount on that one, so automatically it will be treated as supply and GST is applicable. Transactions which are treated neither as supply of goods nor supply of service. So already I said that when any services provided by a person, in such cases, like for example, employee is serving for employer, this cannot be treated as service. Let us see that. First one, services provided by employee to his employer during his employment in the company, this cannot be treated as service. Services provided by any court or tribunal established by any law for the time being force. The term court includes district court, high court and supreme court. Whatever the cases they are finalizing or they're just giving the decisions on those, the service given by the court here cannot be treated as services. For taxable we are discussing. Functions performed by the members of parliament, state legislature, panchayats, municipalities and other local authorities. These people who are going to give service for the government, that cannot be treated as service for charging the taxes. Duties performed by any person who holds any post as per the provisions of Constitution. The services given by him or the duty performed by him cannot be treated as services for charging the taxes. Duties performed by any person, chairperson or member of director in any body established by the central government, state government or local authorities cannot be treated as services for GST. All services related to funeral and ceremony mortuary, including transportation of the deceased, cannot be treated as service. So again, it is a social service or benefit to the society. They are supporting for the society. It cannot be treated as service and levying GST for that one. Actionable claims other than lottery, betting and gambling. They're saying that one. If any goods has been sold here, excluding lottery, betting and gambling, for all this the GST is there, but for actionable claims there is no GST. Now the next concept what we have here, composite supply and mixed supply. So which is called composite supply or which is called mixed supply in our business sector. So for example, composite supply means a supply made by a taxable person to a recipient comprising two or more supplies of goods or services or any combination thereof, which are naturally bundled and supplied in conjunction with each other in the ordinary course of business. One of the which is principal supply. Like for example, a gift pack has been made here where we have a shirt piece, wallet, watch, book, belt. So main concept here is shirt piece here, what we have, the material here. The wallet and the watch, book and belt has been made. A gift pack has been made here where the principal supply is shirt piece and it contains with that the additional wallet, watch, book and belt here. Each one of them have a different GST rates here. In this concept, whichever attracts highest rate of GST, that is applicable for entire composite supply. For example, we have 12%, wallet is 18%, watch 28% and book 0% and belt is 12%. Now, in this for shirt piece, we have 12%, wallet 18%, watch 28%, book 0% and belt 12%. In composite scheme, the highest rate of GST, whatever we have here, that is applicable for the entire principal thing, whatever we have here. They'll not divide and calculate what is the value of the shirt piece. For that, they're going to add GST, wallet. They'll say that the gift back is 5,000 rupees. On 5,000, we're going to charge 28%. There's the thing they're going to say. That's nothing but automatically 5,000 into 28 by 100, 0 get cancels. So it will be 1,400. So GST will be 1,400. Value will be 5,000. Total price I have to pay 6,400. So now in this concept, the shirt piece was 12%, wallet was 18%, watch is 28, book is 0 and belt is 12. But in this, whichever the highest value was there, highest rate of GST, that is applicable for the charges on the transaction value. The transaction value is 5 lakh, 5 lakh into 20%. Nothing but 1,400 is GST, sale price is 5,000 and total is going to become 6,400, the value of supply, what we're going to do. For instance, a travel ticket from Mumbai to Delhi may include service of food being served on board, free insurance and the use of airport law. In this case, the transport of passenger constitutes the predominant element of the composite supply and is treated as principal supply and all other supplies are ancillary. That's another additional things, whatever the benefits are given for the person who is traveling. Next, we have the GST law lays down the tax liability in a composite supply or mixed supply in the following manner. Composite supply, comprising two or more supplies shall be treated as supply of such principal supply. Mixed supply comprising of two or more supplies shall be treated as supply of that particular supply which attracts highest rate of taxes. By saying that one, whichever highest rate of taxes is there, that is applicable either in composite or mixed supply. Next we have here composition scheme and normal scheme. In our business concept here, if any transaction or the turnover of the business exceeds or up to 75 lakhs, they can opt composition scheme. But if any business opts here, any composition scheme here, they'll not get any other benefits like input tax credit benefit will be not given for the small businesses who are going to opt composition scheme, because the rate of composition scheme is very less when compared to other rates. So they're going to reduce the compliance cost for all small tax payers. They're saying that when we are going to support for you people, if your turnover is not 75 lakhs, instead of opting for the normal scheme, you just opt the composition scheme where the tax you're going to pay will be very less as compared to any other tax concept, whatever we have. Like for example, what is the tax rates we have for the manufacturers like ice cream, pan masala, tobacco products? For them, it is 2% composition rate what we have here, 1% for CGST and 1% for SGST on turnover. Next, restaurant services, we have here 5% on the turnover, 2.5 for CGST and 2.5 for SGST. For traders other than supply of eligible for composition scheme here, it will be 1%, that is 0.5 for CGST and 0.5 for SGST. This is the rates what we have. Manufacturer of ice cream, pan masala, tobacco, it is 2%. Restaurant, it is 5%. Leaving these two people, traders or any other supplier eligible for composition, for all the people, it will be 1% out of 0.5 will go to central government and 0.5 to state government. Following persons are not allowed to opt for the composition scheme. Casual person or a non-resident taxable person. A person who is doing business activities from the outside India, he is not eligible for composition scheme. Suppliers whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year, when it crosses above 75 lakh, they are not eligible to claim composition scheme. Supplier has purchased any goods or service from unregistered supply unless he has paid GST on such goods or service on reverse charge basis. If I'm purchasing from a goods from an unregistered dealer and if I paid the GST and if I'm going to claim that one, so then I'm eligible, or else I'm not eligible for composition scheme. Supplier of service other than restaurant are not eligible for composition scheme, whatever we have. Person supplying goods which are not taxable under GST law. If the goods which are not coming under the bracket of GST, they're not eligible to claim composition scheme. Persons making any interstate outward supply of goods, they're not eligible, only for local. Suppliers making any supply of goods through an electronic commerce operator who is required to collect tax at source under section 52 and a manufacturer or on the following goods. Now, they're saying that one, if any goods have been sold here and made in such a way that one, like for example, if I'm selling any goods through electronic, on that case, I'm not going to get the composition scheme benefits for the goods whichever as a manufacturer have supplied goods to the e-commerce for the trading activities. Let us solve one problem here. Let us consider in such a way that one, see, I'm a retailer where no intervenients are present in the following expected information. Purchase of goods for 50 lakhs. I'm purchasing goods for 50 lakh, 5% means, so it will be 2.5 and 2.5. 60 lakhs is my sales. Again, it will be 2.5, 2.5. Expenses are keeping detailed statutory records required under GST law will be 1,30,000 per annum for normal scheme, which shall get reduced to 50,000 if composition means in normal scheme it is 1,30,000 and in composition scheme it is going to be 50,000. Other expenses are 2 lakhs in both the cases, 2 lakhs 2 lakhs. Next, if I'm going to opt the composition scheme, then it is 1%. That is 0.5 for CGST and 0.5 for SGST, whatever we have here. Now, cost of goods sold in the normal scale, it is 50 lakh. And in composition scheme, 50 lakhs plus a GST 5%. So it will be 52 lakh 50,000. 52 lakh 50,000. And expenses 1 lakh 30, 50, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs. So my total cost will be 51 lakh, 53 lakh, 53 lakh 30,000 in normal scheme. And the sales whatever I made was 60 lakhs here. On 60 lakhs, 5 by 105, which inclusive of GST. The word we have here, inclusive. So 60 lakh into 5 by 105, it will be 2,85,714. So out of 60 lakhs, they are going to deduct this 2,85,714. So my net sales will be 57 lakh 14,286. The profit on this will be 60 lakh minus 57 lakh, 3 lakh 84,286 is the profit what they have made on the turnover. Now, in the composition scheme, it is 52 lakh 50 and 2 lakh 50 is the expenses. Total cost is 55 lakh. My sales will be 60 lakh and totally I'm not going to get benefit here. And I'm going to charge directly 60 lakh into 1%. So 60,000. So my sales will be 59 lakh 40,000. So here 60 lakh minus 59 lakh 40, 4 lakh 40 is the answer what we're going to get. 60 lakhs we have here, 59 lakh 40 and 55 lakh. So total profit will be for us 4 lakh 40,000. 57 lakh 14,286 minus 53 lakh 30,000. So 3 lakh 84,286 is my profit. In the next concept, we'll learn clearly what is the output tax we have paid and what is the input tax we have paid. What is the output tax and what is the input tax, whether I have to pay the GST under normal scheme or composition scheme. In the first case, we have here input purchase 20 lakh. So 20 lakh into this one will be 9% and 9%, and 12 lakhs 6% and 6%. 15 lakh that will be intra, so 14%, 14%. 75 lakh inclusive. So here 75 lakh into 6 by 106. 6 by 106. Now 75 lakh into 6 by 106 will be 4 lakh 24,528 for CGST, 4 lakh 24,528 for SGST under normal scheme. What is the input tax credit I'm going to get here? On input purchased here, at the time of purchasing, I paid tax 9%, 9%. How much? 1 lakh 80, 1 lakh 80. The services 12 lakhs I've taken, I paid tax here 6%, 72,000, 72,000. 15 lakh into 14%, 2 lakh 10, 2 lakh. Totally, I've paid here 4 lakh 62,000, 4 lakh 62,000. But I have collected. This is collection and this is paid here. So I have collected 4,24,528, but I have paid to the government 4,62,000. Still, there is a negative balance what we are getting. Still, the amount is with the government 37,472. 4,62,000, this one 4,24,528 minus 4,62,000 will get minus sign. So that is the thing. We have put the brackets here. So 37,472, this will be carried forward for the next transaction which is going to take place if we are going to opt normal scheme. The same concept if we opt composition scheme, 75 lakh into 0.5%. So it will be 37,500, 37,500, and here I have to pay GST 37,500, 37,500. Now, whether I have to opt this scheme or normal scheme. Here I'm getting the benefit of 37,472, but here I have to pay tax 37,500, 37,500 here. So now instead of opting composition scheme, I'll go for normal scheme only, where the benefits are more for me in the normal scheme rather than when compared to composition scheme in this situation. In the next concept, it is 20 lakhs into 12%, that is 6%, 6%, 10 lakhs, that is 9%, 9%. Again, it is 10 lakhs, 6%, 6%, 80 lakhs, inclusive here, 80 lakhs into 14 by 114. 80 lakhs into 14 by 114, it will be 9,28,456, 9,82,456, 9,82,456, 9,82,456. Input tax credit, what we have here, 20 lakhs into 6%, 1,20,000, 1,20,000. 10 lakhs into 9%, 90,000, 90,000, and 60,000, 60,000. Total here it is 2,70,000, 2,70,000. Out of 9,82,000, the collected amount, if I deduct 2,70,000, then I have to pay 7,12,456, 7,12,456 to the government in the normal scheme. If I opt the composition scheme, 80 lakh into 0.5%, that is 40,000, 40,000. I have to pay only 40 here. So which is better for me to pay 40,000 whatever I've collected here. So composition scheme is better when compared to normal scheme. Thank you to all 5th Sem BCom students. In today's session, we learned the composition scheme and normal scheme, where we came to that one, which should be better, and which we opt in our business is going to be benefit for the in future. Thank you once again to all our 5th Sem BCom students.